and welcome to stagemasterslive videos. My name is Francois Spannenburg, and today it's the second part actually of the video that I've recorded earlier about working the crowd. We already talked about the misconception in the previous video, the fact that many bands prefer to adapt themselves to the audience, while actually the real thing is to bring them wherever you want them to be. We talked also about having fun on stage, and now we're going to talk about two extra topics. There's going to be a third video for the two last ones. So I want to talk about keeping eye contact. It's a big debate, but I've already talked about it in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into the debate again. Should you look into the eyes of the audience or not? Check my previous videos to find, because I don't remember in which one it is, if you want to know more about the debate. But basically, there are two types of people: the ones who actually can look in the eyes of the audience because it doesn't disturb their concentration, and they are the ones who cannot, and they just will look just above their heads, and it will seemingly give the impression to people that you are looking in the eyes while you're actually not. So it allows you to keep your concentration, and still they have the thing you look in the eyes, which is the most important at the end. So, talking about still about keeping eye contact, whether it's for real or it's just an impression, it is important to keep the eye contact one or another, because for the audience you make it personal. When they have the feeling that you look at them, they feel like partly involved. They feel like you acknowledge them. They have an importance. And it allows you to be able to create connections. Actually, for the ones who are able to look in the eyes without having their concentration disturbed or disrupted, it's a brilliant thing to do it. Because you can actually sing a song, an emotional song, in the eyes of someone. You can even choose someone in the crowd and decide, okay, I'm going to sing this song straight in the eyes of this person. You have no idea how much you're going to give to that person. This person is going to come back home thinking she was or he was the star of the show. So it's something absolutely brilliant to create a very strong connection. And probably the other people in the audience, if they are fans, they will be absolutely envious of the person who had this privilege to be part of the show because you were singing this song to that person in particular. So keeping eye contact is an extremely good way to bond, let's say, with your audience, and to give them a feeling of importance of being part of the show. So keep it in mind, whether you can do it for real and then choose even a person in the audience to actually create that special moment, or if you cannot look at someone in the eyes because you know that you will lose your concentration if someone stares at you, just give them the impression that you look at them, and from there we go to the next topic: make them participate. But before we're going to talk about make them participate, I'm going to actually call that to play with them. We're going to talk about simply talking to them. That's what I want to develop now. There are ways, or let's say there are moments which are perfect to talk to them, that can actually create climaxes or opportunities for climaxes. So when are the possible best moments to talk to your audience? So in between songs, that would be the number one, because it allows you to introduce the next song, eventually to prepare them to the next song, explain them why it's that important for you, why you wrote that song, what it means to you. Share a story with them eventually about this song, why you wrote it, what made you write this song. If it's an instrumental, you can explain them also what you wanted to express through that. You can even create a story, even if it's not the real story of this instrumental. Maybe the name of your instrumental is enough to make a story around it, but at least you will connect them to this song, or this instrumental, and they're gonna have a different awareness about it. They're gonna listen to it with a different thing in the mind. It just isn't a random song or a random instrumental. It has a story, and they know about the story. That's a way to create not necessarily a climax, but it's an opportunity for that. So that when they listen to it, they feel like, yeah, I know what he meant. I understand the story behind. That somehow is a very, very strong connector in terms of emotions. The second situation where you will want to talk to your audience will be during a song. Not necessarily to make them participate, but to introduce elements. For example, during a song, what I already did would be I had an instrumental, and I was introducing the instrumental from the beginning, saying, yeah, this is a song, it's an instrumental about how complicated and boring it can be to start learning to play an instrument. Yeah, came up with that. And what I was doing simply was taking an up-tempo instrumental and brought it down to the slowest possible. And I was showing them like, okay, when you want to learn an instrumental, this is how you play it. And I was starting to play it very awkwardly, like if I'm learning and I don't find my notes. So I was taking my harmonica, I was starting playing the thing, and it was a bit lame, it was slow. I was moving in the tempo, like it was slowing even more, etc. And the band behind was trying to accompany me with this, trying to follow my disrupted rhythm and beats and etc. It was, for the audience, it was hilarious, and the band was actually pretending to fall asleep because it was that boring. And I remember I was even like pretending that I was reading a method, to learn how to play harmonica, and it was I made it sound like awfully awkward, and then I would look at the thing, I would turn it like, oh yeah, that's why. So I was adding some very funny elements, which the audience responded very well to. And then when I arrive at the end of this instrumental, which is absolutely a drag, even to listen to, on purpose, of course, I start to talk to the audience and explain them, okay, so that's the situation. And a few years later, it sounds like this. So then all of a sudden, everybody like, oh, and a few years later, so we just laughed, it was fun, etc., but it was boring on purpose, we got that. And then all of a sudden, I tell them, but it's not about them participating, but still I tell them, and a few years later, it sounds like this. And we go into the instrumental up-tempo, like perfectly played, and I got a bunch of people highly excited all of a sudden. They clap, they tap, they stomp their feet, and this is amazing. So you just talk with them. You don't even ask them to participate, but by what you tell them, by the context that you have built, you have a new opportunity to create excitement. That's an example only. Of course, you don't have to do that. You can do it absolutely differently, but it's just to give you food for thoughts, so that okay, I can create a context where I'm going to talk to them, not even asking them to participate, but I'm going to create an opportunity to get excitement, to get something out of them, and that's what you want to work for. So. And that's an example of talking during a song. Of course, there are plenty of other situations when you can talk. You can even, for example, your guitar player you're gonna tell your guitar player to play solo. You can even enjoy to talk and to introduce your guitar player, and right before he takes the solo, and say how much he has put thoughts into his solo and this. Find ways to trigger something, right? Create stories, even if they are created on the spot. If you're good at it, it doesn't matter. Just tell things, introduce things, so that it gives them a certain awareness on what's going to happen, and then they will pay an extra attention to it. It's just not going to be any random solo. It's going to be the solo of that guitar player who worked this solo in a specific context, and oh look, listen how beautiful it is, etc. You know, find your way, but talk in order to bring something and to leave an open awareness for people to actually receive it and enjoy it with a different perception. That's the way you make your song interesting and more meaningful for people. Sorry. The third situation where you will talk to your audience, and I think that's pretty cool, it's at the during a solo. Again, it's not about them participating actively. It's again bringing something. So you play a solo, and you arrive to a first climax, but they know it's not finished. Simply you stop it at that first climax, but they know because they feel it, it's not finished, there's more to come. And that's the moment when you can talk to them and again create a new situation to excite them about what's up next. How are you going to top up that first climax? What are you going to do in order for them to get more to get them even more excited? So that's the moment when you can again tell something that will explain what's up next and create again this kind of excitement, this kind of envy to know what's going to happen. And then you can continue with the second part of your solo. That is another great way to create interest and to make the whole song more lively. So those are really the right moments to talk. And there's another way where you can talk. I had that. It's actually similar to the first explanation I gave you, where I play the song very slow and then after I played super up tempo. I had something similar, but for the people, the song, the instrumental was finished. I used to play an instrumental from Charlie McCoy because I'm a harmonica player, and with this band we were playing country bluegrass rock, and we were playing this song called this instrumental called "The Fastest Harp in the South." So I was playing at that for that one. I was playing at the same speed than the original, played by Charlie McCoy, and basically at the end of this, we were waiting for the audience to cheer. You know, they were happy, say, yeah, it's really good, etc. And then one of the musicians on purpose would say, do you think that was fast? And the people would say, yeah. And then we were like, I think we can do it faster. So we were creating another context where people were like, oh, really? I can't believe that. No, I don't think they can play it faster. It was really fast enough. And then you excite them. You start to build it up, like, yeah, I think we can play it faster. And we start discussing in between people, like acting like, do you think we can really do that, etc.? Do you want it? And then you start to ask them, and you wait for them to tell you, oh yes, I do want to see that because I don't think it's possible. And so you make a bet. You know, again, so it's not that they have to participate actively, although here maybe a little bit, but it's a moment where you're going to trigger something again. So, we did that. We were like telling them by all kinds of means, triggering this interest. Like, do you think it's possible to play it faster? And then, of course, we would start again playing it insanely fast. I would tell you it was played way too fast. It was not musical anymore. But it doesn't matter. It was not about music anymore. It was showmanship. It was, if you would play that instrumental that fast, without this context, it would be absolutely ridiculous. But we created a context where it was amusing for people and exciting to see if we could or not. It was more in that specific context. So we played this instrument insanely fast. I think it's about like between 180 beats on the black for the speed on the black, or 190, 180, I don't remember, but it was insanely fast. And what we're doing is that we're speeding it all the way through until the end. So it means that we would start maybe at 160 and then go up to 180 or 190. So it was speeding all the way through on purpose. As I said, not musical anymore, but really fun for people. And they enjoyed it. They absolutely loved it. It was probably one of the strongest features within the show. So think of this, because that is something that can really bring also a lot of extra. I don't ask you to make instrumentals and to speed them up, but to create a situation where you finish a song and it's not finished. You have another surprise behind. It doesn't need to be about the speed. It can be about anything. It can be about there's another part of the song that you have not sung yet, and it's about the story. There's a story in this song that is important, and all of a sudden, so they think, oh, the song is finished, but no, there's more to the story. So you're going to tell something more about that story in the next part, etc. So do you want to know what happened to the guy in the story, etc.? You can start to trigger it, and then you sing it. So in that case, what is important is not the instrumental, it's not the speed, it's the story itself, the story of your song. It can be a story that is funny or scary, you name it, it doesn't matter. But your song is split in two, and they first have the feeling that when you finish the song, it's over. But no, there's more, there's an extra surprise. Those kind of things are fantastic moments to talk to the people, to actually trigger interest, trigger curiosity, and trigger opportunity for making fans, actually. So those are, I think, the four moments. The four moments to bring excitement by talking to the audience. On the next video, we're going to talk about playing with the audience. This time you engage them into participating strongly. So that is going to be a very important part. And the last part of the next video is going to be about unpredictability. It's huge. And there's going to be another video following that one, which is going to be only about unpredictability, because this is a killing tool. It's amazing what you can do with that. So thank you again for watching those videos, and I'm looking forward to see you on the next one. See you everyone very soon, and put into practice what I explained you. You're not going to regret it. Cheers. Bye. Bye-bye.